Hi, welcome to Dark Goddess Moon Tarot. I'm Olivia, and I am going to be delivering a message from Spirit for you today. So I pulled, or I didn't pull, Spirit pulled 3 oracle cards from the Wandering Soul Oracle. And we have Locked Away, Grounded, and Protection. And grounded calls for a need to ground a little bit more. Protected is a reminder that you are protected by your spirit guides and soul family, even if you feel like you're alone, even if you are alone in this 3D world. You're not really alone. There's a reason you're here. There's a reason we're connecting. There's a reason you're watching tarot readings. And that reason is to find your soul family. Now, what's interesting about the 3 cards that flew out is on protection, we do have a keyhole and 2 keys. And then we have locked away. And it's interesting, locked away, and then we have a lock and 2 keys. You are keeping part of yourself locked away, and this is preventing you from finding your soul family. You may have been gaslit by many people throughout your life. Romantic partners, friendships, employers, coworkers, your parents or guardians growing up, family members. You may be in the process of unlearning all of that. Unlearning the damaging and negative effects that their insecurities projected onto you, or their inability to see how their decisions, actions, choices have affected you. You may be deep in the process of doing inner child healing, trauma recovery work. And if you are not, there's probably a reason you're here, and that may be one of those reasons to get you inspired to start that journey. You may have been so gaslit that you didn't realize you had a traumatic childhood. And that sucks. But you're not alone in that. Okay, let's see what the tarot has got in store for us today. So, if you're new here, welcome. I am starting this channel to connect to my soul family. So, if this resonates at the end of the video, please do subscribe so that I can better connect to your energy and give more in-depth readings. And also just so that we can build our community here. Okay. Spirit, what do the viewers most need to hear right now? Okay, we have the King of Wands, which came out in reverse. The Fool, and Judgment. So the King of Wands, when the King of Wands is in the reverse, this speaks about, if this is a person, this speaks about someone who can be quite angry when they're in their shadow, using that power, that passion in the wrong way can be very harmful and damaging to others. So if you have been hurt by someone who is not able to regulate their emotions, who has not had the healing work that they need in order to treat people the way that they deserve to be treated, And in order to treat probably themselves the way that they need to be treated. If you have been hurt by that, Spirit is saying, you're not alone. I just saw 511 on the timer. I don't know if that's an angel number for somebody or a specific number or date for somebody, but Spirit had me call it out for a reason. So let me know in the comments if that's you, if that's for you. But look, even though the Fool, you in this case, is starting their journey in the darkness, it's very dark out. There's a sun, a star, shining on them, but it is dark. And they can't see that, they're facing away, right? They don't know where they're going. They don't know what's in store for them next. But they know that they're not gonna stick around for this misplaced anger I'm hearing. Judgment is on its way. So this card speaks of an awakening. I just heard a rude awakening for someone, not you. It's for the King of Wands in reverse. And the King of Wands in reverse, if it doesn't represent a specific person, it could represent family, generational cycles, toxic cycles and behaviors. It could also technically represent a shadow aspect of yourself if you have a tendency to be placing misplaced anger on yourself or others. There's an awakening happening. I'm getting for most of you watching, this is going to be you're the Fool. You're not the King of Wands in reverse. You're walking away from the King of Wands in reverse. And you're going to let their karma come to them. Let's see what else. What else, Spirit? Oh, Queen of Wands in reverse. Interesting. With the Four of Cups on the bottom. Well, the Queen of Wands knows what she deserves. But it's in reverse. So if you're the Queen of Wands in this scenario, which is what I'm picking up on, Spirit is in the process of handing you what you deserve. But you might be unable to see it because you are too focused or still focused on these other cups, these other people or situations that you thought were what you deserved because they look good to you. They look good, maybe on paper or in theory, or maybe just out of habit, familiarity. But you deserve better. You deserve better. Thank you, Spirit. What's some advice? I feel like this is all advice, right? What can they do? What should their next step be? So we had the Five of Pentacles pop out, and then I was told to look at the bottom of the deck. So we have the Hanged One. So a new perspective on the things you've lost. That's the next step. Shifting your perspective on whoever it is that you've lost. Friend groups, jobs, or career paths. It may not be just a job. It may be an entire career path that you have lost, that has been taken from you for one reason or another. It's for a reason, I'm hearing. It's time for a new perspective on that. You're allowed to feel your feelings, for sure. But there's a loop that can happen. I have been in years-long loops, so I am not judging. But Spirit's here to help you get out of this loop so that you're not stuck repeating the cycle. Oh. This flew out. Uncertainty. Two of Swords. She's blindfolded. There's something that she cannot see. And there's a lot of water in this card, but this is a Swords card, so this is air. So this is an emotional connection you have to a choice that you need to make, likely between two paths. There's a lack of clarity right now as you're weighing this choice that you have to make. There's something that's unclear. The High Priestess. There's something that's unclear. So this card is telling you to listen to your intuition. Deep down, you already know the answer that you're searching for. You already know. It's within you. So whatever just came to your mind when I said that you already know, whatever thought that was, whatever your gut is telling you, that's your answer, my friend. That's your answer. I'm hearing you don't need another reading to tell you that. Okay, we have the Lovers in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse. Why in reverse? The Hierophant on the bottom. In order to get your happiness, your happily ever after, you're going to have to dismantle some harmful systems. That's the gaslighting that we talked about earlier. You're going to have to dismantle that. And that is a intense journey. But it is so worth it. It is so worth it. Anything else, Spirit? More clarity is needed before this death can take place. We got death in reverse. So death is a good thing. Death is a good thing. It's, once again, dismantling those systems, letting the old habits, patterns, thought processes, especially the thought processes, letting them die. So we have a shift of perspective that needs to take place for more clarity to come through so that you can dismantle those old thought processes and rewire your brain. If you have the ability to, I just saw 1414 on the timer, if you have the ability to get a therapist, that is going to be like the number one recommendation, but I know that that is not accessible for everyone. So this may mean getting books from your library, watching videos for free on YouTube that are put out by therapists. This may mean studying narcissistic abuse recovery, gaslighting recovery. You may need to look into EMDR to help rewire some things if there's trauma there. King of Cups in reverse. So when the king is in the upright, the King of Cups, they are very much, 15:15 on the timer, they are very much in tune with their emotions and able to regulate them. However, in the reverse, those seas are choppy. And he's not able to emotionally regulate. He needs to anchor. He needs to ground. He needs to trust his intuition. You need to trust your intuition and practice some grounding techniques. I'm hearing working on observing, working on your observational skills and coming from a place of responding, not reacting. It's difficult when you have been shown nothing but reactions, when you've not been shown healthy ways to interact in the world, with yourself, with others. But the information is out there. Nine of Swords. Insomnia, anxiety, sleepless nights, being plagued by the things that have traumatized you. You are almost through the end of that cycle, but there is work to be done. Queen of Cups on the bottom, in reverse. Yeah. It's about getting more in touch with your intuition and knowing what is your body telling you? What is your intuition telling you? Yeah, Eight of Swords and Nine of Wands. After that, Nine of Swords. You've been through it. It's not in your head. You're not making a big deal. You're not being dramatic. You have been through it. However, the only way out of this self-imprisonment that's doing this to you, the only way out is to keep going through. It's to have endurance. You are not stuck, even though it feels like that or may feel like that. You are not stuck. All cycles will come to an end. But it's up to you to take yourself through it to the end. So ideally, you can skip the Ten of Swords by doing this work. don't be afraid of the Ten of Swords. If you haven't started this trauma recovery process at all yet, like if you're just sort of awakening to the idea that you do have some trauma that you really need to work through in order to come out of this pain, the darkest hour is before the dawn. So it may get a little darker before the sun comes up. Ten of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords in reverse. Two of Pentacles in reverse. So what's stopping you from finishing out this cycle is a lack of boundaries. This is causing major imbalance in your life. Queen of Swords. A lot of people talk shit about the Queen of Swords. But she is the Queen of Truth. She is the Queen of clarity and communication. She is the Queen of boundaries. And while she may not be delivering them in the kindest, most nurturing way, it's usually for a reason. She may be at her breaking point. And what we don't want is to, of course, we don't want to lash out at people who don't deserve it, but if people are repeatedly not respecting your boundaries, no matter who they are, if they are not respecting your boundaries, that's going to keep you here in the Ten of Swords. Total defeat. It's up to you. Do you want to stay in the Ten of Swords? Or do you want to regain balance? Regain clarity? Regain self-sovereignty, I'm hearing. That's how you're meant to continue on this path as the Fool, who is taking a leap of faith on love, on wish fulfillment. Oops. With the Lovers, Ten of Cups. Two of Cups on the bottom. So we have 3 twos out. We've got the Two of Swords, Two of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. So it's choice. It's choice. It's choice. It's you making a choice. You making the decision. I think you have. I think you have. Okay, let's see here. I'm just going to take a minute to get organized. This has kind of been a very heavy, intense reading. We're just going to clear our energy. 24 on the timer. Lots of doubles. I've been seeing double numbers on license plates a lot lately. So that may be something you're also seeing. Let's get some charms. Charms will hopefully lighten this up a little bit. I mean, this is good, even though it's heavy, even though you've been through a lot, you're going through a lot right now. You're about to make the choice. It's not going to be easy. but you will feel relief. I just felt like a huge sense of relief wash over me. So you're going to make the choice that's right for you. And you're going to feel really relieved about it. So we have scales. So Libra, which we did have the Queen of Swords come out. That's in the zodiac, Libra. And Two of Swords is also a Libra card. So balance. We had 3 different 2 cards, including the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, which is about being very imbalanced. But the scales are coming out. Balance is coming. We had the Judgment card, which is not the same as the Justice card, but gives me similar vibes. Like Judgment Day is coming for those who have harmed you. Balance will be restored. It's not up to you to do that. The universe takes care of that. But you do need to cut something out. We have the scissors here. You do need to cut something out. Fast. You have lightning. Fast. You got to cut it out fast. And then we have a mountain nightscape. So mountains in the tarot represent climbing up that hill. It's rough. It's tough. Not everyone is meant to be a mountain climber. It's easier to stay at the bottom of the mountain. You can avoid a lot of uncomfortability by staying down at the bottom. But the views from the top are going to be so worth it. You can't see yet. You're in the dark. Again, we have the moon tying into the High Priestess card, tying into the Fool in this particular deck, where there's a very dark sky behind them. But there is the light of the stars. There is the light of the stars and the light of truth, I'm hearing. Okay, so I hope that this is helpful. And if so, if this was helpful in any way, please do give the video a like so that I know it's reaching the people that it needs to. And join the channel so that we can start to build our soul family together. Thank you so much. And until next time, I am sending you so much love.